For the next 7 days, I'm eating whatever an AI tells me to eat. Not a diet app with a template, a language model I handed my entire kitchen to. I gave it my budget, my schedule, what I like, what I refuse to eat, and how lazy I am at 8 p.m. on a Wednesday. It planned the meals, it built the grocery list, it scheduled the cooking. I just complied. Why? Because meal planning is the single most repeated decision in most people's weeks. We make roughly 200 food decisions a week, and study after study shows decision fatigue is real. By Thursday night, you're ordering delivery not because you want it, but because choosing is exhausting. So can AI actually take this job? Did it save money, save my sanity, or serve me a bowl of questionable quinoa chaos? I tracked every dollar, every hour, every meal, including the failures, especially the failures. Let's eat.
Step 1 was briefing my AI, and this is where most people fail before they start. Plan My Meals gets you a generic 7-day template that ignores your life. What actually works is constraints, and I loaded them all. Budget $70 for the week for one person. Diet no restrictions but heavy on the vegetables. Time 30 minutes max on weeknights, longer allowed on weekends. Tools, I have an air fryer, one decent pan, and no patience. Preferences, I listed 10 meals I actually cook and like, so the AI had a flavor profile to work from instead of guessing. The pantry inventory, what's already in my cabinets, because the number one way meal plans waste money is making you buy spices you already own. And crucially, a leftover policy. Leftovers must be scheduled as lunches, not optional. I ran the same brief through 2 AIs to compare, and honestly, the setup discipline mattered more than which model I used. Garbage constraints in, generic plan out. With the brief locked, it was time for the moment of truth, the grocery list.
The AI's grocery list was the first genuine surprise of the week. It came organized by aisle, produce together, dairy together, dry goods together, with quantities tied to actual recipes. 4 meals shared a rotisserie chicken, so it bought 1 chicken, not 4 half chickens of guesswork. The cilantro problem, buying a whole bundle for 1 tablespoon, was solved because it clustered recipes that used the same herbs back to back. My baseline week, tracked the week before, cost $98, and let's be honest, about 15 of that was walking the aisles impulse buying. The AI list total, $71. Same store, same week, $27 less. Now, credit where due, some of that saving isn't intelligence, it's discipline. A list is a list, but the cross-recipe ingredient overlap, that's where the planning actually earned its keep. Because when I write my own lists, I never plan Tuesday's dinner around Monday's leftover parsley. I never do. Bagged and loaded, day 1 of cooking began.
Then came the actual cooking, and the results were better than I expected, with 1 big asterisk. 6 of the 7 dinner recipes were legitimately good. A sheet pan sausage and veg situation that's going into my permanent rotation. A pasta that used almost the entire bundle of spinach instead of leaving a sad half bag to liquefy in the crisper drawer. The AI planning around food waste was showing off. The leftover lunches worked exactly as scheduled, which meant no sad desk sandwich energy and no 12 p.m. what do I eat scroll. Now the asterisk, prep times. The AI said 30 minutes. The recipe was delicious and it took 45. Not once, consistently. Across the week, the estimates ran about 40% optimistic because the model doesn't fully account for a human's first time through a recipe. It's read the instruct, it's seen the text of 10,000 recipes, but it has never had to find the garlic press. So rule for you, whatever the AI says, add 40% or read the steps and time it yourself the first make. And then, Wednesday happened.
Every experiment has a failure reel, and mine is fully loaded. Failure 1, the quinoa incident. The AI, trying to be efficient with pantry staples, scheduled a quinoa bowl combining leftover roasted vegetables, a lemon tahini situation, and I need you to understand this was its actual suggestion: warm chickpeas and a sliced pear. Pear in the bowl. It wasn't terrible, it was confusing. It was a textural haunted house. My partner ate 3 bites and made toast. Failure 2, the 25-minute lunch that took 50 because apparently the AI believed I could julienne a carrot in 90 seconds. Who am I, a food processor? Failure 3, snack suggestions. I asked for healthy snacks and it returned things like a handful of pumpkin seeds and 2 dried apricots, which is technically a snack and emotionally a punishment. The pattern in every failure was the same. Whenever the AI stepped outside the flavor data I'd given it into territory it had only read about, it got weird. Inside my data, excellent. Outside it, pear in the quinoa. The lesson isn't that AI can't plan meals, it's that you keep veto power always. Which brings us to the part you actually clicked for, the money.
Let's total the ledger, because vibes don't pay rent. Groceries, $71 versus my $98 baseline, 27 saved. Food waste, near zero, and that's the quiet hero of this whole experiment. Normally, I throw out half a bag of spinach, some sad cilantro, a container of something that used to be soup. This week, the ingredient clustering meant everything got used, and I'd estimate that's another $8 to $10 a week that stayed out of the trash. Delivery, zero. In my baseline week, I ordered delivery twice out of pure decision fatigue. That's $35 to $40, including fees. This week, when Wednesday night laziness hit, dinner was already decided and partially prepped, so the scroll never happened. Time cost, about 2.5 hours of cooking across the week, roughly what I'd spend anyway, plus maybe 20 minutes of setup on Sunday added up, and the AI week came in roughly $67 cheaper than my normal week, with better lunches and less waste. But numbers aren't the whole verdict. Here's who this is actually for.
Final verdict, 8 out of 10, with conditions. This is for you if you're busy, if you eat for fuel more than for adventure, if you're watching a budget, or if your produce drawer is a graveyard. The AI took the most repetitive cognitive load in my week and made it disappear, and the grocery discipline alone justifies the experiment. It's not for you if cooking is your hobby, if you crave novelty every night, or if you'd rather die than eat leftovers on a schedule. If meal kits cost $60 to $100 a week for the same decision removal service, AI planning gives you the same benefit for the cost of a chat subscription you probably already pay. 3 rules to take with you. Give it real constraints, not vibes, budget, time, pantry, preferences, all of it. Add 40% to every prep estimate. And keep your veto. When the pear shows up in the quinoa, you have my blessing to say no. Would I do it again? I already have week 2 running, with the pear clause written in.
The week in 6 numbers, $71 spent versus $98 baseline, 27 saved on groceries alone, 8 to 10 more in avoided waste, and roughly 40 in delivery that never happened. 6 of 7 recipes were keepers. Prep times ran 40% optimistic, pad them, and the verdict, 8 out of 10 if you bring real constraints and keep your veto. That's AI meal planning tested in the real world.
If you want the exact prompt I used, the full constraint brief with the pantry inventory and the leftover policy, it's pinned in the comments, copy it and make it yours. This channel is all about testing AI in real life every single week. So if that's your thing, subscribe. Next week I'm handing it my calendar, which is either going to be glorious or a disaster, possibly both. Tell me in the comments, would you eat the pear quinoa? I read everything. Thanks for watching. I'm off to eat something an algorithm chose for me.